Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shnuyama Deva Bhadram Pashyemakshabhir Yajatra Sthirai Rangai Stuštavansas Tanubi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swastina Indro Vruddashrava Swastina Pusha Vishwaveda Swastina Starksho Arishtanemi Swastino Brahaspatir Dadatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We have been dealing with Upanishads of the Atharvaveda. We have studied Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad and its sequel, Prashnopanishad. And today we want to take up Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad of the Atharvaveda. Now, let me first discuss this name of the Upanishad, Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad. So the main word is Upanishad and Mandukya is the qualifying word. What are Upanishads? Shankar has beautifully described what is Upanishad. Otherwise, Upanishad only meant the secret knowledge of the Vedas. But Shankar has explained that it has three parts. Sat is the root of a verb. And Upa and Ni are the pre-adjuncts to that Sat. And this Sat is not the Sat of Satchidananda, it is the root of a verb. And this verb has three distinct meanings. To obtain, to help us to obtain, to destroy once forever, and to loosen, which is like destruction, to end by loosening. And he says that it refers to knowledge. And what is knowledge? That we have to first discuss. We might have discussed several times, but very important thing, so we must discuss first what knowledge means, to which this Sat refers. Knowledge is not information. Knowledge is not intellectual conviction as some people think. So what is knowledge? Now I am talking. I know that I am talking. You people are listening and also seeing me. But you know that you are seeing me. You know that you are listening to me. So what is this knowing? You have to think of this. What is the fundamental knowing with us from the immemorable times or from the beginning of time in a natural way? I just now showed you. But let us go to the origin and we will find I know that I am a jiva. I know that I am a subject living in the midst of innumerable objects called the world. Now, this is not thinking or feeling or resolution or nishchay. Behind my every thinking, behind my every feeling, behind my every resolve, I know that I am a living being. I am a conscious being. And I find myself within this world facing innumerable objects. That is my fundamental knowledge. That is called knowledge. What I know about myself. Not by the books. Not that somebody has told me. Not that somebody has taught me. Not that I have read in the books or heard from somebody. But in the most natural way, I know this, I know that. But at the root of I know this, I know that, is I know myself as a conscious living being, living in the midst of this universe, which for me are all objects of my knowledge, of my enjoyment, of my activity. So this is my knowledge. Now, further we will see, fundamentally, I know I am this body. I know I am the indriyas of knowledge, indriyas of action, which work in this body. I know that I am the mind living in this body and working through this body. I know I am I consciousness. Consciousness related to this particular body and mind. In what way it is related, I do not know. But somehow it is trapped in this setup of psychophysical setup. Now, this knowledge is ignorance. This knowledge is wrong knowledge. It does not require Vedanta to tell us that this is wrong knowledge. Take up any of the ideas which I just now told you. I am this body. Can you define body? Is it not changing every moment? Then which I can call as my body? That which was yesterday or that which is today? That which was in my waking state is, or in my dream state, or in my deep sleep? What is my body? I came out of the mother's womb as a mass of flesh, nerves, blood, etc. And it has been changing every moment. So which of them is to call my body? So this is only my concept that I am this body. If a thing is changing every moment, let us be little more psychologically critical in our appreciation. If something is changing every moment, then which is that thing? A thing is there and it changes, has no meaning whatsoever. What is that thing? The Buddhist philosophers analyze and say the only continuity with us is that change is continuous. Nothing is continuous. It appears that the same thing yesterday is today, though it has changed. If I take my indriyas as myself, they are changing. Sometimes I get cataract. Sometimes my nose goes out of order. Then I have lost myself. I have gone. If the eyes are plugged out, have I gone? So this idea that this knowledge, not idea, I am conscious, I am aware that I am my nose or mouth, is totally wrong, false. I am the mind. Mind waxes and wanes so much. You know, there is a disease called schizophrenia or bipolarity. I see in my life, every person in this world is bipolar. Every person. Some of us or majority of us may be able to keep a balance, control this bipolarity, some are not able to. Those who are not able to keep a balance are called mad people. But is there no bipolarity? Do I not think in two different ways at two different times or two different moments immediately sometimes? For example, I see somebody is coming. I have no business to judge, but immediately my mind works into, is he my friend? Is he so and so? Or he is not so and so? Why? And one of these I determine then. So this I am the mind is equally false. Now, I am the I consciousness. I consciousness somehow related to this body and mind who are changing. Now, this I consciousness changes or not? I remember one living incident. In Patna ashram, with my friend, another Swami, we were walking within the compound. And from the gate, one old man came with a small baby girl. Immediately it came to my mind, this small baby girl has an I consciousness. And when she becomes old, when she becomes young and old, she will have a very different I consciousness. It will not be the same I consciousness. I am old, is it the same as I am small? No, not only that, mode of thinking, mode of feeling, mode of everything changes, logic changes, the very feeling I changes if you critically analyze that. So where is this I? And another funny thing is this, that I is shifting always. Just now I gave several instances of what this I is. So sometimes I am the body, sometimes I am the indriyas living in the body, sometimes I am the mind living with the indriyas in the body, sometimes I am the I consciousness working through my indriyas and body. So this I consciousness is shifting continuously. But when I say I, it has to be some fixed quantity. So without any Vedanta, just a little analytical thinking, which is called discrimination, I find that this I consciousness, this I of today, whatever I feel, is, what to say, non-existent. false appearance, wrong belief, wrong awareness. Now, I will take another count for this. Let us see the consciousness of rishis. Let us see what is the type of awareness in the wise sages. And before our eyes, the very glorious example of, say, Sri Ramakrishna. He even cannot say of himself as I. He says here, this belonging to this. So what is his awareness? That there is only one consciousness throughout the world, not two. Bhagavan Shri Krishna teaching Arjuna in the Gita, Kshetrajyastu mam viddhi, sarva kshetreshu bharat. And that very one consciousness appears as my consciousness, your consciousness, his consciousness, her consciousness. As if that very consciousness from here says, I am Pitambarananda. From there, I am Hari, I am Tom, I am Dick, I am Harry. And what we call object, this is about ourselves. And how do we say that there is right and our is wrong? There are two ways of looking at it. Ours is ever changing, theirs is not. They also had a consciousness like us, and by evolution or by going from wrong to right, they have changed it. We have not experienced theirs. So we cannot say that is right or wrong. But they experience like us and now different. And they have every right to say that yours is wrong. Ever changing. There is another count. See their life and our life. Our life, Janma, Jara, Mrityu, diseases in the body, sickness in the mind. They also have, apparently, maybe sickness in the mind also, sometimes. And yet, they are ever blissful. Their bliss does not change even for a second, in spite of illness of the body. How blessed is their life. So from this count also, we see that theirs is true consciousness, ours is false or wrong consciousness called nations or ignorance, avidya, ajnana. Now, when we live with them, when we listen to their words, when we take their advice, when we love them, our consciousness goes on changing. Sometimes we feel we are near to God. Sometimes we feel a tremendous attraction for something constant which we see in their life. And this attraction pulls us. We feel they are to be worshipped, to be loved, to be adored. And when we grow in our love for them, we feel sometimes, that means our awareness changes, that they are the whole and we are the parts. They are the soul and we are the parts of their body. They are one, but specified by all of us. The whole universe is their body. These are actual feelings or awareness in a devotee or a sadhaka who has grown spiritually. Ultimately, our consciousness becomes like their consciousness. In the Bhagavad Gita, for example, again and again, after every 4 or 5 shlokas, we will find Bhagavan telling Arjuna, Mad bhavam adhigacchati. So my nature they get. So we can, and that is the only effort of life worth in this world. Every other gain, say money, wife, post, fame, name, is evanescent. Evanescent, goes away. Every other achievement in the world has an end. But go to heaven and after some years come back. Maybe more enjoyment, but that enjoyment is muddied. And come back. So, another point I want to tell, they are blissful, I told. Sense of fulfillment. That is the one criteria of true and false. Do we feel we are fulfilled? Never. In young age, we think, I want to become a doctor, I want to become an engineer, I want to become an MBA, I want to rule the world. And suppose we get that. In the popular tales, there is a boy and there is a girl, maybe king, queen, or ordinary. And through various struggles, they get each other. And the story ends, thereafter they lived a happy life, which is never there. I remember when I was in school, one of our teachers got married. And when he came back after marriage, we congratulated him, sir. He said, what congratulations? He said, what change has come to you now? In Hindi, भूल गए राग रंग, भूल गए चौकड़ी, 3 चीज याद है, नून तेल लकड़ी. Chokdi means a friends group. Rag Rang. Rang Rang means friendships, enjoyments, colorful enjoyments, Rag Rang. Bhul gaye Chokdi. Friend circle, tight group, 4 people together. 3 चीज याद है, नून तेल लकड़ी. Noon is salt. oil and fuel. Anyway, so if we get a thing, somebody told me, other than this, I'm telling living examples. One girl in Patiala said that I find everything in this world is hollow. And if you tell it to our friends or others, they say you are abnormal.
Everything hollow means? Hollow?
Hollow means no content.
No content. Okay, okay.
And we are also afraid of this thought. But that thought is constant with us. I said, describe how you arrived. She said, when I was studying in the school, I had a thought that I want to become electronic engineer. I studied very hard, got very good marks, got admission, got the faculty of my choice, but one doubt lingered. I have been hankering for this, but whether I'll be able to cope up with this, whether I'm really fit for that. Now the first year results had come and she was among the first 3 or 4 in the university. So now I'm sure it's a question of time. I am a BE or BTech now. Then this thought came, what shall I get? What shall I get? In Shankara's language, tata kim, tata kim, tata kim, tata kim. There is a beautiful stotra by Shankaracharya, not this which I quoted just now. Long stotra, perhaps 16 stanzas or more than 8 stanzas. Anatma Shri Vigarhana Stotram is the name. Suppose I become a king, what then? Suppose I become a scholar, what then? Suppose I become a man of renunciation, what then? Like that. That is actually, without knowing this stotra, that is actually what happened to me when I was a college student. Anyway, I am not frightening you, but that is life. And see them, ever fulfilled, no want. The very faculty of want is annihilated. In joke we say, we ask them, what is not there with you? Abhav. They say one thing abhav. Abhav er abhav. Anyway, I have gone too far in this. Question is, by any process whatsoever, suppose I am able to change my today's consciousness. I just now described, consciousness changes gradually. Suppose by any process whatsoever, my today's consciousness changes and becomes like their consciousness. This is called jnana or vidya. Jnana, as of today, of myself, is wrong, false. Jnana, as with them, consciousness or awareness is right, blissful, perfection, fulfilled. The change of my consciousness into their consciousness is the aim of life. To take up that story with the Patiala girl, I told her, somehow, first of all, I told her, you need not be afraid of your thought. And it is not wrong or mad-like. It is what Buddha has preached. It is a thought of wise people, but it is a half thought. Somehow you have come to be aware that everything in this world is a shadow. And if you go to catch the shadow, what you get? High, nothing. And that is why you are telling everything is a hollow. But shadow means there is some reality of which this is the shadow. There is no shadow without something real. And if you are able to catch that something, then your life will be fulfilled, and then you will not say that everything is hollow. Understood? Now let me add something more in this direction.
What did you suggest her? What did you suggest her? Just leave everything and...
Huh?
What did you suggest her? The girl.
What did you suggest her to do?
At the reality.
For the girl.
I told her that every shadow is the shadow of a reality. If you can catch that reality, then you will this half a hollow will not remain.
Did she ask how to catch her?
Now you want me to go into that? Well, her parents were the Vedanta Society at Patiala. And when, now it is going in a little different direction. When some big Swami comes to Chandigarh ashram or any ashram, we arrange mantra diksha. And these people collect the names and send to us. So her father told that this time there are not much list. There is only one old lady. He immediately said, put my name also. Her mother said, for last 2 years I am telling you, take mantra, it does not catch your imagination. And today you are talking with the Swami and you are ready for that. You understood now? Reality. Okay. So don't go that way now. So, now I am telling my experience. I call this as awakening. I am little digressing from my thought, but important thing I am telling. In the world, people say that youth is not taking to religion. It is totally false. You see the history of mankind. When did youth take to religion? When? Only twice. Bhagwan Buddha's period and Swami Vivekananda's period. No other time youth have taken to religion. No other time. Kalidasa, the great poet of India, describing the ideal kings of Raghuvansha. Shaishave Bhasta Vidyanam Yauvane Visheshanam. Vardhakya muni vrittinam yogenante tanityajam. So childhood they were busy in play. In youth they were enjoying objects. In old age they thought something and then they became mukta. To the ideal kings. Shankara was young, but all his disciples are old. Anyway, what I am hinting at is, I thought this young girl has got awakening. But parents, society, media, peers will make it suppress, not allow it to grow. Give her a little freedom, then we shall see. Then I thought girls are getting awakening. And perhaps next week, one devotee and his son came from Amritsar. And that father is complaining about his boy. Maharaj, this boy says, same thing, everything is hollow, nothing. And I am telling him, there are so many good things of life. What son said, you know, Father, you are injecting goodness in the things and calling it good. Intrinsically, nothing is good. I told the father, listen to him, he is saying correctly. Awakening. Anyway, let me complete this topic of awakening. After some days when I went to Goa, a girl studying in middle school or ninth, she said the same thing. So, this is half knowledge or awakening. Anyway, so we come back to our topic. This is called knowledge, by which a man becomes fulfilled. Never any want. Only want is wanted. And now, this has been attached with Upa and Ni. So, we have to approach the knowledge of the rishis to get it. Upa means by going near. If a person is there, we can go near. How will go near the knowledge? Being bringing the knowledge near, absorbing, making it our own, not in the books, not as intellectual conviction, not as information, not for writing articles. Upa. Or you may say, Upa means through love and devotion. Then only we go near. At that knowledge comes near. And what is Ni? Ni has two meanings. Nishchay and Nishtha. A firm resolve is required that I want to get this knowledge. And that firm resolve has to be steady throughout till we get that knowledge. That is called Nishtha. Nishtha in the outside world, I will tell an example. One of my friends now is in Belur Math. I heard that he joined in Ramakrishna Math, Chennai, Madras. And for 17 years, so long as he was there, he never missed the Mangalarti even one day. So this is Nishtha as far as outside is concerned. But what does Nishtha mean inside? This thing will give me perfection. I do not need any other thing. If I stick to this thing, it will give me perfection. That is Nishtha. Nishchay and Nishtha. Now what is the meaning, total meaning? Upani purvasya sater. I told you three meanings. It gets you something. So it gets you Brahman. It gets you your own real nature. If you approach the knowledge of the rishis with love and devotion and resolve and steadfastness, it will give you Brahman, your real nature. It will destroy your ignorance forever, once for all. And it will loosen your bondages born out of that ignorance. Bondages? Our desires are our bondages. Our feeling of imperfection is our bondage. Does a man feel he is perfect? That is the very definition of a man. He never feels he is perfect and goes on struggling for gaining this, gaining that. And after some time he understands by gaining anything from outside, he has not become perfect. But if he changes in himself, but he changes his consciousness, then he will become perfect. So that imperfection is the chief bondage. And because of that, desires come. If I get this, I'll become perfect. You get this, you don't become perfect. You get money, you get wife or husband, you get palaces, you have air-conditioned homes. These days they are showing in video, these celebrities, how their houses are. Why they are earning more money? Because the want has not gone from them. Air-conditioned houses. Animals are better because man builds air-conditioned zoos for them. Anyway, so this is Upanishad. And evidently, it does not refer to books. It refers to knowledge. It refers to change of consciousness. Then what are the books? In Kathopanishad Bhashya, there is one word by Shankaracharya. In 2-3 places it is there. Tadarthena granthopi Upanishad iti uchyate. If the book is used for that purpose, then that also is Upanishad. Basically, knowledge is Upanishad. But where to get that knowledge? You go and live with a rishi. Otherwise, if you are using that book for getting that knowledge, then also it is Upanishad. Otherwise, I'm sorry, I'm sitting in the university. If you use that book for getting a PhD, DSc, delete it, is not Upanishad. Understood? Now the next question. These Upanishads are parts of Vedas. I am not come from that way, Veda and Vedanta. The question is, why there are so many Upanishads? Why there are so many names of Upanishads? Because the receiver's mind is different. The giver's mind is different. Same knowledge has to be given to that mind. Same knowledge has to be imparted to that mind by that mind. And so the Upanishads vary. Same knowledge, but the method of giving will be different. For example, in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad itself, Yajnavalkya is giving knowledge to Maitreyi in a different way, giving knowledge to Ushastha and Kahol in a different way, and to the king Janaka in another way. Because he is a master teacher. Anyway, other than Yajnavalkya, there is a Ajatashatru king. He is giving knowledge to that Drupta Balaki in still another way. So, these names. Now, let us come to the particular name, Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad. Some people have tried to impose some name through Puranas. The name of Rishi was Manduk, and the Upanishad given by him is Mandukya. This is Puranic concept. They build up ideas on the words. Then what is the meaning of this Mandukya Upanishad? We understand this through Sri Ramakrishna's experiences. He has talked about the Kundalini power reaching its goal when the life becomes fulfilled. And he says that its motion is of 3-4 types. Like ants, like a serpent, like a bird, like a monkey, and like a frog. What does frog do? Frog is sitting here, it wants to go there. It puts its whole energy and jumps. And after he jumps, he finds he has not reached the goal. And he also finds that his energy also is not finished. So he takes another jump, and he reaches the goal. So in this Upanishad, in the second mantra, Soyam ātman chatushpat, that real nature of man shall be reached in 4 steps. Chatushpat is not 4 legs. Pada means step. 3 steps and goal. So frog in Sanskrit is Mandukya. The Sanskrit name for frog is Mandukya. So through Mandukya-like motion, you are reaching the goal. So Mandukya. So this is the Mandukya Upanishad. It belongs to Atharvaveda. I am not going to talk much about. In a nutshell, we have to tell that also. These Upanishads are also called Vedanta, but that will lead us to different side. Because as soon as I say Vedanta, it itself people take in 2 different ways. Vedanta is a system of Indian philosophy, the best system of Indian philosophy. That is not the original meaning of the word Vedanta. Ved, Anta, Vedanta. Anta is not the end. Huh? Ved means knowledge. But all knowledge is not Vedas. Swami Vivekananda's definition, there are two sets of truth, he says. One is that truth which is gained by ordinary man's five senses and reasoning built thereon, and that is called physical science. And the other truth gained by Yogaja Sukshma Shakti Grahya, which a man abstains by the power of subtle perception through yoga. Yoga means some means of God realization. So when he practices means for God realization, he gets a power of subtler perception, direct perception, more direct than our perceptions. And that is Vedas. Now in this subtler perceptions, I make three types. The most important subtler perception is the perception of consciousness within matter. I see water, matter. But if I am aware that there is a God in that water, consciousness in that matter, I call it water God. These are not imaginations. These are not poetry. These are the higher experiences of rishis. Agni, Agni Devata, Vruksha Devata, Vana Devata, Vastu Devata, Gruha Devata. That is the Indian mind. And what is this Devatas? Difference between me and Devatas? They are of cosmic nature. The fire which burns in my kitchen, the fire which burns in your kitchen, the fire which burns in people's stomach, the fire which burns in the ocean, fire which burns in the forest, that is all one. And behind all these fires, there is one consciousness. That is Agni Devata. Ocean has fire within. You know, when our homa is finished, we say Agne Tvam Samudram Gacha. You go back to your original seat. Anyway, Vana Devata, Vishnu, Jala Devata, God, King of gods, Indra. So that is Vedas, Devata Jnana. Second is relation between karma and its result. We don't see it outside. But Vedas are definite in telling us, if you do this, you will get this heaven. And the third is perception of subtler entities. Atomic, nuclear entities, Panchatattvas, they see. So, this subtler knowledge is Vedas. Main point is Devata Jnana. And where does this end, culminate, Devata Jnana? All these cosmic things are particularized cosmic things. But when the man's consciousness rises, he sees there is only one consciousness which appears in me, you, same consciousness appears in the cosmic deities. And then the scene changes. This Devata Jnana, what it leads to? I want this, I want that, I want this from the Devatas. But if there is only one consciousness, there is no I. And if there is only one consciousness, there is no matter also. Consciousness appearing through names and forms is what we call matter. So in short, this is Vedanta. Devata Jnana leading to the knowledge of one reality, Sat Chit Ananda. That is in the Upanishads. So today we have discussed meaning of Upanishads and Mandukya Upaniṣad, the name. Now, before we study any spiritual treatise, four things are necessary to keep in mind always. What? In simpler terms, non-technical terms, we should know what we are studying. Otherwise, it leads to astray. Beforehand, we should know why we are studying. We should know whom we are who are studying, or who can study, who can benefit by studying, and how to study to get that result. Now, technical names for this: Adhikari, Vishaya, Sambandha, Prayojan. For whom or who shall study? Adhikari. What we are studying? Vishaya. How we have to study that is Sambandha. And the purpose for which we are studying to gain perfection, that is for what we are studying, why we are studying. So we shall discuss this in detail on next Wednesday. What, who, how, for what? That we shall, we approach by talking of the name. We have almost taken up what is the subject. But we shall discuss this on the next Wednesday. So please, we have to go very steadily in this science. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Deva Bhadram Pashyem Akshabhir Yajatra Sthirai Rangai Stishtavansas Tanubi Vyashema Deva Hitam Yadayuhu Swastina Indro Uddashrava Swastina Pusha Vishwaveda Swastina Starkyo Arishanemi Swastino Brihaspati Dadatu Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.